welcome to another edition of Well Tales of History with Sir Shamu at your service. Today we will be talking about the city of Mecca. Oh, the city of Mecca. We procrastinated again, didn't we? I'll write the script.
Alright, so as you might have guessed, I procrastinated on this project, and now all that's left is going to be a cut-down version of it. I was going to have all this fancy stuff, but apparently I can't focus on anything, so this is what you get. Okay, so originally I had planned to make this sort of a funny history review, like the history of the entire world forever, I guess. But I procrastinated too much and then things got out of hand, so now I'm doing a speedrun fashion, so here we go! So, Mecca, it's a city. It's important. It's right there. But talk about Mecca, we gotta start at the beginning. So let's start off with a tale that everybody knows. Moses. Moses was a guy that lived a long time ago. He did this, and this, and this. Well, this guy knew what he wanted. Apparently he talked to God face to face, and that made him a certified prophet. This made him very important in many religions, including but not limited to Christianity and Islam. But did you know that Moses had a son? Well, he did. Then that son had a son, and that son had a son, and that son had a son, and that son's name was Abraham. Then that son had two more sons. Their names were Isaac and Ishmael. Now, one day, Abraham walked up to Ishmael and said, "Hey, Ishmael, we need to build a temple to God because he's awesome." And Ishmael went, "Yeah, sure, Dad, let's go." Then, in respect for God, Abraham and Ishmael built a temple in which to pray and worship their God. This temple would later be called the Kaaba, spelled K-A-A-B-A. Don't get it confused. Then people built a city around it, and they called that city Mecca. Now, fast forward many years later, the Quraysh, that sounds about right. The Quraysh tribe remodeled the Kaaba once they were in charge of Mecca and gave it a roof and a door. Pretty fancy. Then there was this guy named Muhammad. You probably already know all about him, seeing as TJ probably did his presentation before I did. But just in case you didn't, and the people in the back haven't woken up from their nap yet, let's just say he was really, really important to the Islamic religion, and was born in Mecca. But in 620, the year not the time, he got kicked out of Mecca. But after 9 years, he came back and reclaimed the city. And in doing so, he purged the Kaaba of all the pagan gods and returned it to its monotheistic state. And since then, it has remained one of the most holy places on the planet and houses the Black Stone. This is where it gets interesting. According to legend, the Black Stone was said to be given to Abraham by the angel Gabriel. It was said to be the original marker that God sent to Adam and Eve to tell them where to build a temple. Alright. All this information that I just chucked at you is important because according to the 2 of the 5 pillars of Islam, you must pray 5 times a day in the direction of Mecca, and at some point in your life, you must undertake the Hajj, or annual pilgrimage to the Kaaba. It's a pretty big deal. No, like, seriously, it's really big deal. Like, big. How big? Well, I'll tell you. Normally, the city of Mecca's population is about 2 million people. However, this skyrockets during the Hajj from 2 million to 15 million people, crammed in that one tiny city. And, fun fact, the building in the center built by the Big Bad Prophet isn't the only attraction in Mecca. If you can call them attractions. I mean, they do attract people, but technically non-Muslims aren't allowed in the city. So, Mecca is also home to the Zamzam well, a source of water that is said to be created by God and has never run dry since creation. Right next to the Kaaba, there is something called the Station of the Prophet. It includes the engravings of the Prophet's feet into a rock that dates back to the right time period when the original one was created. Now, if any of you have any questions about this subject, please ask me right now. Well, I'll tell you how this pertains to the stuff that we're learning in history class right now. By the way, Seamus, you were really early on that joke. Yeah, there was supposed to be a pause, and you did not put it in there. There's a pause in the script. You didn't put it in there at all. Oh, well, I guess that makes sense. Well, either way, we should have timed that out better. Anywho, according to Week 12's reading guide, which is on Canvas, by the way, I would like to answer one of these questions. Was Islam a religious movement or a social and political one? I believe it's both. Because of religion, it was started, but the social and political movements of Muhammad made it pertain to both of them. It was originally for religion, but it fought against something that they knew was wrong. Okay, I'm pretty sure that I filled out all of the requirements listed on the sheet. I'm looking at it right now, and it is currently 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm not a happy camper because I procrastinated this long. Let this be a lesson to you. Don't leave it till the last minute. So, with that word of warning, I am going to go home and sleep. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I hope I don't take this assignment in the class in general. Okay, bye.